Hello and welcome to the Literary Lair. And Merry Christmas, everyone. It's time to gather around your family and try to protect yourself from an immortal old man who sneaks in your house and judges your worth as a person. And if you pass, you get a gift. If not, you get coal. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, have fun celebrating whatever holiday you do celebrate, be it Festivus or Life Day. And since it's Christmas, I have a perfect book for it. You've already seen the title. You know what it is. I can review James Bond on Christmas, because I did it last year. This book, You Only Live Twice, is the direct sequel to On Her Majesty's Secret Service, so that's why I picked it. The movie that this was turned into had Sean Connery, and for some reason came before On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Anyway, on to the review. The cover is quite interesting. It has a green and red motif fitting it in the Christmas season. It also has a Japanese woman and a Japanese protective mask, which has bearing on the plot. It also has flowers with skulls on them, foreshadowing the bad guy's plot. Anyway, on to the story proper. The book opens with James Bond in Japan on a mission, and there's some slightly racist stuff in it, so your mileage may vary. It was written in the 50s, 60s, so political correctness wasn't a thing yet. But then it cuts back to England, a month prior, where Bond is not taking the death of his wife in the last book very well. He begins to let his life slide, and drinking and gambling heavily, making mistakes and turning up late for work. M, his boss, was going to fire him, but then decides to give him one last shot, to revitalize him and bring him back to his old self. He's assigned to the diplomatic branch of MI6 and given an impossible mission, which is what he's known for, taking the impossible and making it possible. He's sent to convince the head of Japan's Secret Intelligence Service, Tiger Tanaka, to provide Britain with information from radio transmissions captured from the Soviet Union, codenamed Magic 44. In exchange, the Secret Service will allow the Japanese access to one of their own information sources. However, Japan already has access to it, and so Bond has to perform a mission for Tiger Tanaka. Tanaka asks him to kill Dr. Guntram Shatterhand, who operates a politically embarrassing Garden of Death in an ancient castle, where people flock there to commit suicide. And they do it themselves, but
We can't! The press!
So he checks out the intel on Shatterhand, which I think is a video game. And it turns out that Shatterhand is a familiar face to Bond. It's Ernest Stavro Blofeld. And Bond now has a reason to take the mission, so he can get revenge on Blofeld for what he did to his wife. And this actually draws a parallel to Seeds of Rage, which we looked at a couple weeks ago. Michael Fuller was trying to get revenge on the Klingons for killing his son, and even kept his plan a secret, like Bond does. And it makes sense. You'd want revenge on someone if they killed a member of your family that you loved. And it's a total coincidence that these two reviews came out so close to each other. I read Seeds of Rage last year, but I didn't read this book until a few weeks ago. He is disguised and trained by Tanaka, and aided by former Japanese film star Kissy Suzuki. Bond attempts to live and think as a mute, or as Tanaka said it, deaf and dumb Japanese coal miner, in order to penetrate Shatterhand's castle. Tanaka renames Bond Taro Torodoki for the mission. He gets inside the castle and then gets captured, and Blofeld's assistant identifies him as Bond. Blofeld plans to execute him, but Bond escapes, and then he engages Blofeld in a duel. However, Blofeld is armed with a sword and Bond with a wooden staff, so you can probably tell how that ended. With Bond strangling Blofeld. That wasn't what you were thinking? Well, that's what happened. And he also blows up the castle, but he escapes with an injury that leaves him with amnesia. Kissy finds him and conceals his true identity and gives him a life as a fisherman so that he can be hers forever. She becomes pregnant, but keeps it a secret from Bond, and his memory is slightly jogged when he sees the city of Vladivostok written in a newspaper and wonders if the gap in his memory can be found in Russia. While the rest of the world believes him dead, like in Skyfall, the papers run his obituary, telling about his storied career and that his final mission was of great importance to the state, and that he did England a great service. And that was You Only Live Twice, which was the way that he gets the new life at the end, is a testament to that. It's a great book and was supposed to be the final novel, and might not be the best ending to the series, but it's way better than the ending to Paper Towns. But of course, Fleming continued writing Bond books, so it never truly ends. And that, my friend, is the last review of 2013. I hope to see you all back here next week, and I look forward to what 2014 will bring. And I have a Christmas party to attend, so I'll see you next year.